Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Today's video is gonna absolutely blow your mind because the damage that I'm going to show you that I did is just absolutely insane. It's pretty much 4 free heroes and I managed to do 200 million on the Vasska boss. You heard that right, 200 million using 4 free to obtain heroes, and honestly the first one's not an exclusive, it's just Ltd, but let's check it out. So I'm really excited about this one because you know what, I've been testing this boss for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days because it kind of seemed like it was one of the easier ones to do. However, it was a bit tricky to find the right combination and honestly did not expect to be able to get to 200 million. The key things that you want to keep in mind over here is that every time a hero's ultimate skill hits an enemy, the damage of the next ultimate skill increases by 10%. So this one, you know, is going to boost depending on a little bit of your rotation. But this is one of the key things that you want to keep in mind. When the boss is under healing reduction or healing reversal debuffs, their damage dealt decreases by 30%. So instead of worrying about bringing attack penalty, if you bring the healing reduction / healing reversal, this is gonna do wonders for you. So let me show you the team that I actually used and let's run it. But it's pretty much using Fitz, which is free hero, because you know he's a rare, pretty easy to get. Then we got Thorin, everybody gets Thorin for free. Then we have Thea, again everybody gets Thea for free. Then Vidimir, you can buy for free in one of the shops, and only the last one is actually gonna be Ltd, right? So Ltd is gonna be our frost applier. She just works perfect. Now without Ltd you can try and use Rava instead. The damage might be a little bit lower and it might be quirky getting the timings because of the frozen, but this team works just wonders. Now the reason why Fitz is so important is because what he does on the ultimate is he transfers all ally debuffs onto the hero, and that's really important because the boss has a passive over here that says for each million healing received, which is every time it does damage, inflicts 1 stack of irresistible and undispellable 3% attack penalty on all heroes up to 30 stacks. So if you get this on yourself, you're gonna get 90% attack reduction, which is huge, which means your attack is just gonna be obliterated. However, I'm not sure if this one's a bug or it's just, you know, it just works as intended because it says undispellable. Well, pretty much it's not being dispelled, it's being transferred. So maybe that's why it works. And that's why Fitz is just massive for this fight, because he keeps getting that attack penalty, puts it on himself. He's just there to tank and remove it, and then everybody else just does the damage, right? Now, the other ones that are really important, Thea is in this team to bring us the healing prohibition on her ultimate. Now, if you look at what you have as options, there's not too many, right, they can do that. If you look at specifically, if you look at the permafrost pairing, healing reversal, the only one in the game that does it is Berengar, which is an exclusive necro unit, and then the other ones are going to be Uteor, which does it on the battle skill, so not reliable enough to cast at the right time, and then you have Ripikas, which does it on the ultimate, but it's a chance, you're not guaranteed. So that's why number 1 for this fight is going to be Thea for that. Now let's run the team and see how it goes. And honestly, the reason why this one works so good is because of Vidimir's passive, right? His passive, it says something like every time an enemy that is under frost gets, dies, which in our case, they just disappear, he gains attack up and he also gains the 15% ultimate energy. That means he's going to be able to do 2 ultimates every time this happens. So you see ultimate number 1, then you're going to see some of them fall, ultimate number 2. His damage output is gonna be insane. Like, I'm not gonna lie, his damage output is just obscene. And this is one of those situations where, you know, you don't have to try and get the whole team to be perfect, as in you don't need to try and get 2-3 damage dealers. Vidimir is so good for this fight that he can be the solo damage dealer. There is a little bit from Ltd, but you know, nothing too obscene. It's just all about the Vidimir show. Now, I do want to mention from now, it's not fully extremely free to play because I do have legendary artifacts, right? Every single person has legendary artifacts, so it's not going to be the easiest to hit 200 million. However, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to hit at least 100 million, if not 150, with just some, you know, maybe 1 mythic artifact and the rest will be the legendary ones. But you know what? you have a starting point, you have something to aim towards, and 100% this should be the fight that every single person should be focusing, you know, unless you have Flora, because Flora teams are going to be the best. But if you're running out of, you know, the exclusive legendaries afterwards, Vidimir is the next best thing compared to exclusive ones that can get, and you know, this team specifically, this is the next best thing that can get us to that 200 million. Now, the only thing that can make this fail, which sometimes it happens, you just have to rerun it, is when you get 3% resisted, right? When Thea does her ultimate, if you don't land that healing reduction, the boss is going to do so much damage that it's going to kill us, right? So that's the only way that this one can fail. So, you know, it does happen sometimes. You just rerun it a couple times up until you don't get that bad RNG, and then you're good to go. Now, see, there we go. That's the stupid RNG that I'm talking about. It just happens. But you know what? Let's just back out and let me just run it, because I don't know why this happened, why they have this in the game. I hate it. It's the stupidest thing. Let me just run it. Hopefully I hit 200 mil, because you know what? If I hit 200 mil, I'm straight up saving this one, right? There's nothing I can do that makes it better than this. It's just for the sake of this boss fight, the easiest ones, the Vidimir team. Again, definitely bad RNG. This team doesn't die, right? The way that I have played it, this team doesn't die. This team survives all the way to the 200 million. You say it was 197. It's just a stupid 3%. I don't know why that's a thing in the game. But if that 3% happens, because I definitely have enough accuracy on Thea, oh my god, really? You know what? I sent a screenshot to somebody. Let me just show you the screenshot, just so you see that I'm not actually lying. There we go. Plus, you might have already seen it on the thumbnail. This is the damage. This is the team. It was just fine. Even like this, at the end, you know, she still missed the last rotation because she missed the healing dash and we died, but it works just fine and it hits the 200 mil. Now let me show you the presets and the skill timings. They can be a bit quirky. Do keep in mind they can be quirky because after you get to 5 stacks, there's a frozen that can land sometimes and gets that recharge speed, so the boss's rotation goes a bit quirky. But let me show you how they have. So first of all, Thorin 17.8 seconds, then every 18 seconds. Losenia does it first time at 17.5, then full YOLO. Then we have Fitz at 18.2, then every 18 seconds. This one kind of happens after the boss does the AoE hit, so you can remove as many of those attack down stacks with his ultimate. But as you saw afterwards, it kind of like decreases, but you still remove most of them. It works just fine. Vidimir, he just full YOLOs, right? Because if you put timings on him, he's not going to be using those ultimates when he has them ready, so that's going to be a problem. And then Thea starts at 17 seconds and then every 18 seconds. For her, she already has a 16-second recharge time when skilled up, so you should be just fine. You just want to make sure you land that healing prohibition before the boss does the ultimate, because that's the biggest hit, and then you're good to go. Now, let's start and have a look at the builds. I guess let's start with the talents as always. Don't have max talents over here, still need to do some. This is Vidimir stuff. Like, obviously I don't have any accuracy, so some of these things don't really work. Like, if enemies have frost, damage increases by 50%. This is going to be amazing. It does say after inflicting frost 10 times, you're not going to inflict it because you don't build him with accuracy. He's just in there to do damage. These are Thea's talents. Again, as much healing as possible. Thorin, same principle. And then Losenia over here on the bottom side, you see that I don't even have them finished. Everybody's also going to be fully skilled up, as you're going to see, right? Everything's fully skilled up. But now let's have a look at the builds. So Fitz is going to be pretty much all about protection. He's going to be in the Ancestral Protection. Then with I just put this piece of gear so it kind of like removes it, even though it doesn't really matter on him. Just give him HP defense to survive and you're good to go. And then I did give him Drogo's Blast Jar, right? So honestly, because of this, maybe I should just swap these to defense percent. He has a really low base defense, so that's why I don't like to put defense percent on him. But this one allows us to, this one gives us some extra survivability, because when this one does the blast, the boss does 15% less damage. So that can be really helpful. And then everything else, just survivability. Then Thea actually is running the Dawn Organ Pipe, so she can give as much attack as possible to Vidimir, but at the same time, don't forget the accuracy. You need 260 accuracy to land your debuff. So I have 230 plus the 50 from the Elemental Affinity. That's going to go at 280. So that's just good. After that, I just went with attack percent, as much attack as I could get, right? Just so that I can get as much attack being boosted to Vidimir. Then Thorin is going to be running the Solar King's Horn. Also, really important, Puppeteer's Inspiration. You want to have this set so that you can get Thorin, Thea already is there, but Thorin and what's his name, Fitz, you want to make sure you get them on an 18-second recharge time, which with the Puppeteer set, you don't care about skill haste, and you should be just fine with that. So this is really important to get on either Thorin or Fitz. Just make sure the other person has Ancestral Protection, so you survive, because you know what, Vidimir being an epic has lower base stats, so he has a higher chance to die. Definitely keep that in mind. And then offset piece over here, nothing too crazy. Then Losenia running the Witch's Remains, obviously because she does on the ultimate, you know, a lot of hits. So she's going to be the perfect one for Witch's Remains. Again, she's going to be in the Puppeteer's Inspiration, because you want her and Vidimir to go as often as possible to do those hits. So Puppeteer's Inspiration is going to be amazing. But again, don't forget about Losenia's accuracy. You need at least 210 or 210 plus the 50 from the Elemental Affinity synergy to get to 260, which is required. And then I also gave her like a crit rate glove from the Stride Unprepared, which, you know what, works just fine. And then we have Vidimir, the man of the hour. He does have a Frost exclusive artifact, but you know what, if you don't have this, you can just go with whichever artifact is your best one. Like, you know, maybe this one, the Whispering Curse, the Whisper of the Consumer. Whichever is going to be your best artifact for damage, that's what you're going to use on him. I went with obviously attack percent, crit rate, crit damage over here. As much crit rate, crit damage, and attack as I can. Just straight up stacked him with damage, right? He's the MVP. I didn't have the right stuff over here. I prefer on the negative rune to go with defense if I had, or HP instead of attack, because he is a bit squishy, right? Without the survivability from this one, he might die early, so definitely keep that in mind. Gave him a Fearless Challenge over here. Not the best. Again, you see just meh rolls. And then this one over here, this one's pretty decent. Triple crit damage. No crit rate or attack percent. But you know what? It's what I have. It works. And it's a beauty. It's a thing of beauty. And you know what? I'm super excited about this team. I really hope that it helps a ton of you out there. I hope this video gets to as many people out there so they can see this. And you know what? In order to do that, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, right? Because the more people do that, the more people this is gonna get. I'm gonna eventually get this. But you know what? We're gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you for watching. And I guess, yeah, gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.